Okay. So this is interesting. This is actually going to be a trial game we're seeing from Pear, right? So that means I expect a lot of teamwork, right? I'm gonna be looking at this game a little bit different than I would like ranked games. I'm gonna be a little bit harsher on some things. if I'm pronouncing that wrong, please tell me. All right, so we're running a pretty standard composition right now. We're seeing this a lot in a lot of games. Double shield, the Baptiste, Brigitte, and then we have an Ashe Genji. Where is your Genji setup? Your Genji is on the bottom down here. Okay. Okay. So we're starting on the high ground here. Nice pull. Genji's gonna get a lot of value from that. We're making a rotation early. Good, good, good. And we're making a drop here. So this is a little interesting. Shouldn't the drop be once all the shields run out? Not necessarily. The reason he wants to go down here is if he places a shield here and they push onto point, he has to wait for his next shield. So he's actually kind of making the right decision here by bonkering in this corner. And then he has an off angle up top here and over here. And then you have the Genji from over here. So this is a really good encirclement right now we're seeing from the defensive team. Right? So this is good. This is good. This is good. Slow it down a little bit just so I can see everything happen. He makes the push out. Okay, so they're playing for poke right now. And you can tell because of their shield placements, if they wanted to rush you, the Sig would trade his shield for distance, and then they would throw it down. So I'm just going to look at what you do here. Okay. Alright, so this gold is really poor. It actually becomes a trigger for the team. And this is exactly what I was worried about. What do you think of swapping Ashe for Torb, then Brig for Zen? Then you just become a poke comp. You just become poke. But like the whole idea of this composition is you get to play really brawly, right? You can play poke and you often want to, but you at the end of the day you're gonna be smacking some fists in that brawl. So the reason Orisa Sig is played over Reinhardt and like Zarya or Reinhardt in anything is because it has way more sustain, and the Rein just gets value in bursts. You know, he can swing in, get a couple shots in, but once he loses 200 health and is without armor, he's gonna have to stop and hold shield. But with Orisa, she can keep shooting even when she's golding, right? So what I want to see here from you actually is instead of golding here, you just LOS. Right? There's no point of putting down more poke if you have to trade defensive cooldowns. So like right here, you're just cracking shields, hit the pole, your shield's down. The second your shield is down, you should be LOSing, right? Because you are in the poke stage of the fight, there is no reason why you need to keep firing right now. Right? You can just LOS and let your off angles do their damage, right? You have a Genji over here, who's actually kind of overextending a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think he should have dashed into that. We should have just gone for the dynamite. We have an off angle over here, we have the off angle up here, right? We can just play slow, encircle them, force them to use cooldowns, and then make a move, right? But this gold right here is really damning, because they could make a move off of this. They're like, hey, they don't have Orisa, I don't know, go fortify, so we can make a push, right? Right. So see what happened there, right? They backed off and LOS'd, and now look at some of our resources that we have. We are down gold, are coming back on shield, and we just use pole, and really importantly, our Sig dies, but you can also look and see he was very low on shields. Not quite out of shields, but like 14 health on shields. Really bad situation to be in, right? They won the poke war, they got resources out of you as a team, and now they're gonna make their engagements, right? So now you're on the back foot, you have to use the lamp, your shield's down again, you gold, and you have to retreat. Right, so this is definitely on the Sigma for fucking this up. If we want to go back and talk about like the Sig, him dropping here wasn't a terrible idea. It probably would have been better though if he was a little bit safer. Like he could have positioned himself over here. I don't think he could reach from this distance, right? But the whole point is he starts pushing forwards like this, and now he's pushing right here. He has look at his positioning, right? He has nowhere to retreat to. And that's really damning for him, right? If he gets pushed right now, he's kind of screwed. Okay. So like I think this is a mistake here. I think the BAP didn't need to drop necessarily. I think the Brig definitely didn't need to drop yet. This shield's getting way too low, and he's in a real shit situation. So now you and your Sigma are in a situation where you don't have gold. He has low shields, and they are full because they just walked around the corner in LOS, right? So this is very bad. Okay, well they're not the best either, I'll be honest, but they deserve to win this. Okay, so let's see what you do. You make a rotation. Your DPS are popping off. You're going for this Brig. Not a big fan of this. I think you should have thrown the shield a little bit more aggressive just because how far away that Brig was, right? So if you're gonna hit a pole, you should either hit like a pole directly where your shield lands, so like they're literally inside the shield or past it, so they can't get healed and stuff and they have to retreat. Or you put it so it's like close enough that your Brig can swing onto the target. So like, see where the pole is right here? If the Brig stands right here, she can't really reach the enemy that's being pulled right now. And even if she can, it'll only be for a second, because then this Brig will just take one step away and be out of LOS, right? Or out of range. Okay, so your DPS kind of do work here, and you do a good job of staying alive. Not bad, not bad. Alright, but, you know, gold usage, a little bit, not great. Not what we needed to see. Okay, so now you're holding on the low ground just because of your situation. Okay, we need to be setting up again. So what does our team look like right now? We have backup here, we have a BAP over here, Genji down here. Alright. Ultimate wise, you know they're gonna have at least Bob and probably... I would assume you guys... Okay, wait, they used window. So if you guys notice that, you know they don't have window, they should be close to Bob, and maybe 70 to blade. I don't think you know they have that much blade, right? But just because the fight was so chaotic and kind of in their favor in the beginning. You don't have a lot to work with. So generally you want to be using tank ults with the blade, but if you're in a situation where you don't have it, it's going to come down to like how well your team can sort of int in with the blade. So you're going to have to get really aggressive here once your Genji decides to press Q, right? So that means you're going to have to pull it, and you're going to have to shield it as well to make sure he has as much sustain as possible. All right, so make an interesting rotation. This pull was kind of wasted, and now our Genji goes in. Yeah, so we're in a really bad situation where we kind of leave our Genji out to dry a little bit, at least from your standpoint. You can see your team kind of doing the work that you should be doing. We're seeing when this happens, the Sig, obviously, he puts his... Oh, he broke his fucking shield again, god damn it. But he pushes a shield up to help him, right? We're seeing aggressive lamp being used to let Genji swing as much as possible. But the problem is, like, you first off missed your pole, and second off, your shield's hanging back here, right? So I always like to say to my main tanks is that you need to have your shield and your pull cooldown in sync, because if you ever find yourself in a situation where you pull something and you want to get aggressive without the shields, you're not going to have the safety to do so, and vice versa, right? If you don't have the pull but you have the shield, you don't have the utility to actually confirm anything or hold them in place while you're going for that shield throw, and then what's most likely going to happen is you shield throw aggressively, you don't pull them, and then they walk through your shield. Right? If you pull them at the same time, you put them in the air and they get CC'd and they have to back up, right? Because of it. You take away their momentum and you give it to yourself. So like right now, you should have your shield like thrown right here, right? But yeah, now all you're doing is really just adding your body to the fight. And because of that, you have to use gold. We do not want to be using gold like this, especially because your Sig is sucking at the same time, right? This should be a situation that never happens. A good habit for you to get into, even when you're trialing, is just to say whenever you gold, right? Just say golding, right? And that's going to mean a lot to your Sigma, because that he knows he doesn't have to suck for you, right? He doesn't have to eat damage for you because he knows you can handle it by yourself. So like there's some small cooldown things you need to work on Marisa. That's probably going to be our main focus for today, right? For the rest of this VOD. Let me read some of the chat. Wouldn't BAP get killed by Ashe who didn't drop? Possibly, yes. When you shield pull, do you want to put them on the ground or in the air? In the air because it holds them, because it denies their movement for longer. So if you pull on the grounds, they get pulled in, and then they can start walking around. But if you pull them in the air, they get pulled up, then they have to drop, then they can move around. So you always want to be pulling in the air. It also helps because you can pull above the shields, and you can make it easier for dynamites to land, and you can send a Genji to dash up into it, and then he can turn around, and instead of just like landing right clicks, he's landing right clicks onto people's heads, right? So pulling up's always the way to go. But what you're saying with the thing with the Ashe shooting the BAP, yeah, that's 100% true. I'm just saying it gives him a lot less flexibility to do things, because now he's like, now he has to like, now he's anchored to 1 point, and he really can't leave the Orisa shield. Air, nice. Yeah, and then you drop a shield the second you kind of gold, so now both of your cooldowns are, now you have both of your defensive cooldowns on cooldown, and now you're gonna die for it. I didn't even have to see you die, I knew you were about to die, because you didn't have golds, you didn't have shield, and you didn't combo your abilities correctly, right? So, coming back, what should happen here is do not shield yet. We do not shield here, right? We pull, we throw a shield, right? And we start pushing up with that shield. You should already be like all the way over here, and your shield should have landed like all the way over here, right? You start pushing up, right? And with your shield and his shield and this guy's shield, you're pretty much just farming into them and seeing if you can push in and try to kill this lamp, right? The second you start to be focused, right? The second they take their attention away from the Genji and onto you, that's when you would gold, right? You would also listen to your Sigma, and if he walks in front of you with suck, or he just calls that he's sucking, right? You just make sure he's in front of you, and now he can lead the way, and you don't have to gold, right? Once his suck ends, once they start focusing you, then you're going to gold, and by that time your gold finishes, you should have your shield back online, or even like halfway through your golds, depending on how the timing works out. You should have your shield, right? And then you can trade off your you can trade off abilities, right? So the way I laid that out, the Sigma eats. Sorry, you shield, then the Sigma shield, right? Then he eats, then you gold, and by the time that rotation is done, you should have your shield back up. Right? That's how Sigma and Orisa is played in this meta. You know, very smart, close attention to detail on how cooldowns are used. Oh, interesting. So we're actually going aggressive here. I'm not a huge fan of this play right now. The reason is, there's a large distance, right? And I always like to equate distance with time, right? So this distance from here all the way to this corner over here, right? Don't think about that as how far it is, right? If this is 30 meters, don't think about it in meters, think about it in seconds. How many seconds is it going to take our team to make it all the way to them, right? And what's more likely to happen? You guys make it all the way towards them, or you guys start moving, you get like halfway there, and then you run out of resources because they just kept shooting you the entire time, right? With this composition, you really want to be poking as much as possible to break shields, to see if you can get eat out, see if you can get gold out, right? See if you can get lamp, for God's sakes, out, and then you take that fight. But because you are on defense, you don't have to push into them like this. The cart eventually is going to make it to you. So what I would do is actually bunker here and see if we can burn resources, all right? If we lose the resource war, we just LOS, no biggie, right? And if they lose the resource war, well, we can rotate through this and then pop around this corner and take the brawl, right? This small rotation here, right, it doesn't seem like much, but it's distance, right? Instead of being exposed from here all the way to here, you're being only exposed from around here all the way to here, right? That change of distance really matters because it's less time under the line of fire, right? So you try to win the shield war, right? You try to poke them out. If it works, you start pushing forward, you take that space away from them, and you force them into a fight where they either have to fight at disadvantage with less cooldowns, or they just piss off, right? And then you get choke advantage. You get to hold this choke right here, which is a very scary choke to break, by the way, right? So then you have you have your defensive setup on a choke, you bought the space, and now they have to fight into you. Boom, easy clap, right? But making this aggressive push is probably going to get everyone killed, not gonna lie. would Ryan Arisa be a good tank line for this map because of the corridors? Ryan Arisa is really good at taking space, but I think generally this composition right now is stronger than, I think like Arisa Sig, the way it's played in this meta currently, is stronger than any Ryan comp, because Ryan's just gonna lose over time. Like his shield's gonna get cracked, he's not gonna have enough health, he's gonna have to walk through shields, which means he's not gonna get any healing, and then he's gonna get dicked on. It's a tragedy, but that's how it works, right? So you're already low, you held on to gold, which is good, but you used suck, you used rally, and all you did was get into this position. They walked through the choke because what's stopping them, and then they flux you because you have no cooldowns left. Or not no cooldowns left, but you have significantly less cooldowns left. Alright, so we're investing now. We are down lamp, we are down suck, we still have gold, alright, we just used gold, but now we have shield. We still have deflect. Yeah. So like the most important cooldowns in this composition, in my opinion, right now are both shields, gold, suck, and lamp. Right. So if we go through, you don't have any cooldowns right now. That's a really bad sign. You should never have shield and gold on very similar cooldowns. So right now it's like 9 and 10. Very bad. If it was like 2 and 10, wouldn't be a big deal. But 9 and 10, oh, that's ugly. Sigma, just barely getting his suck back online, but you see his shields is already low, right? And then we have obviously lamp already used and expiring in the next like 3 seconds. So not a great situation we're in. Even with that pick, I don't think it's enough. I think you lose this. Yeah, and even though you have the numbers advantage, you just can't hold there anymore, you know? And all that cooldowns you expended just to take that space is now useless. Now your Sig's gonna back up in this direction, you anchored yourself this way, now you're split. It's a 3-3 split, and when you're playing in this brawl fashion, we can't be getting split like this. We can take off angles, technically, like shallow off angles, but we can't be getting split like this. You know, this split wouldn't be that bad of an idea if like they were further back right here and you guys were playing for poke, but you're not right now. So you're probably gonna get punished for this. Ooh, okay, the flux is good though. The flux is good. But now you have to push forward with gold because you don't have shields, right? The good thing is this team is very good. The players on your team are very, very, very good at this game, right? Big props to Denthead and Zib. Very good players right now. They're really putting in the work. Okay, so they just bongoed. We just retreating, right? Get out, get out, get out. Unfortunately, we do lose one. So now I think we're just like going in, right? If you lose one, backing up is probably just gonna get you picked even more, right? So this is actually a really good call to go back in. Not 100% sure I would invest bongo, but if it's winnable, it's winnable, right? So the fight is called winnable. I hate that we don't have shield right now. We go for the pole bong. And I don't think we're able to get anything out of this, really. No, I don't think so. It was a good attempt. This rally's bad. We're down 2. We force out their rally, though, which is nice, I guess. Yeah, in this situation, I would be playing for, like, does this bongo get us a kill? If it doesn't get us a kill in like the next second, we don't invest anymore and we just try to survive as long as possible to 1, stall the cart, but 2, force them to use cooldowns. Don't bongo without shield. You shouldn't engage without shield and pull. You should always have shield and pull for engagements, right? And you can use bongo in 2 directions. You can use bongo in a poke phase and try to win the poke battle, right? Force resources out of them, then you go forward. Or in a situation like this, if you're going to make an engagement off of your pull, which it looks like you are, you should have if you want to make an engagement off of your bongo, you should have pull and shield so you can get aggressive, right? But again, you're kind of messing up your shield pull combos, right? So right now you pulled and you have 2 seconds on your shield, so you really can't do anything. You can't take that space that you would have taken if you would have comboed it together. Is there any time that you can fortify offensively when you're winning? You can. A lot of the rules change depending on which phase of the fight it is. And if you're winning and say you're in a cleanup phase where you've won the fight relatively already, without like some sort of miracle, and you're just killing people because you have numbers advantage. Yeah, you can use Fortify aggressively then, right? Because then you can just take the space that you couldn't take because your shield's on cooldown, right? So yeah, you can use it offensively, but generally you don't want to, because if you can't guarantee its value on the offensive side, you're just going to end up feeding. And that's what we saw actually the second fight of this game, where he lost first point, is he used gold aggressively, couldn't secure the pick, right, and just got obliterated because of it, you know? So you really have to guarantee yourself value, and right there you just, like, in a majority of situations you can't guarantee value with an aggressive Orisa gold. You know, majority of the time you really do have to be using it defensively, and that's why I do call it a defensive cooldown. The same way I would say Suck is a defensive cooldown, even though you can use it aggressively. Should you? No. Okay, we drop the window. You should be using shield, not fortify here. Okay, actually no, it's fine. Pull, good attempt. Yo, chat, you see that? You see what just happened? Where'd it go? Can I find it? Oh, that's tragic, dude. That's so tragic. Let's watch that again. Let's watch that again. In slow motion this time. Where'd it go, dude? It got lost. Oh, I can find it. I can find it. There it is. There's your shield. Fucking unfortunate, dude. A big unfortunate. Pepe hands. So, dude, Peepo sad. Peepo sad. Is it better to burn Sigma or Orisa shield? Sigma. Always better to burn Sigma shield. Because Orisa's is on cooldown, so if it breaks, she just waits and she has it again. But with Sigma, he has to like always trade it out, and he has to like put it down for a certain amount of time to let it regen, and like the longer it has to regen, the more he's out of the fight. And if he doesn't let it regen all the way, then he has a weaker shield. It's always better to, like, if you're gonna waste time shooting shields, shoot the Sig shield. Curse of Kings. That's so sad, dude. There's nothing worse than this map in particular is so bad because like there's so many of these, like so many like little spots where you can just throw stuff into the abyss. Oh, it's tragic. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. I mean, I don't know what else I could tell you about that shield in particular, except, you know, be careful. Alright, so you should be LOSing right here because you have nothing. Yeah, and that bongo is just a panic bongo. Okay, we still get value from that bongo though. Okay, I guess you countered it with comboed it with your blade. Winnable, very winnable. Ooh, risky Genji, very risky. Cool. Still get that dub. You got a triple kill there. My God, what'd you do there? What did you do on ball? What did you do on ball? Tonight. Big slam. Big slam. Huge. Bro, a mechanical god. This man has been training with his balls for years now. Just look at the mastery. Look at the technique. Bro, that fireball, that machine gun. Bro, the pile driver. Beautiful. Oh my goodness. I'm beaming around, by the way. I'm being a little bit mean. Honestly, you look very uncomfortable on ball, but you know, you made up for that unfortunate little shield throw. Alright, so now you want to be holding up a little bit. You should play this song. Okay, Greg. Let me hear your song, buddy. Let me hear your song.
Then I go.
Why? 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 Why though? Why? I can't believe this. Me either, dude. Me either. What the fuck did I just listen to? It's a bonger. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm right with you there. Uncycling Ben. What the fuck was that? Okay, so now again we're playing for poke. The reason I said you probably wanted to hold up here is just because you could take these high grounds away from them. So like you could poke and have like these two spaces over here, and you could even have like this little nook if Genji wanted to make a play. And you can have an off angle over here, right? That would have been like a really solid corner to hold, but holding here, it's okay. It's just that you only have this high ground to work with, and you could sort of make a flank over here, but it just takes so long that the investment would probably not be worth it. And you just give this high ground away to them, and they also have a mega right here. So like, positioning wise, could have been just better. I do not want to exist in the same universe as that. Followed by best music ever. That URL is so obvious now. You know what, Greg? You know why I click on that? For the content. I know it's gonna be shit. I already know it is. But it's for the content, bro. Nice shield throw. That was good. All that was good. Nice job comboing that with your sig, making sure you can like. So one of the things that a lot of people don't do on our Orisa is once they siggled, you should like literally be under them, because this composition wants to play so brawly. Like by the time they land, you should be like right here, and just dumpstering damage into them, throwing a shield past them so they have to back up through the shield. They can't push forward on you because if they're already low, and you just dumpster them because they have no healing anymore. Oh man. Oh wait, listen to the. Oh wait, you have another song? I'm a little worried about this one, not gonna lie. Let me pause the music real quick. You're right. God damn it. Okay, dude. Okay, dude. Okay, dude. Okay. Yeah. So now holding this corner is even better, just because like that. So actually, I don't like holding this corner. This corner is kind of weird to hold, because like if they're smart, what they'll do is they'll just rotate through this way, and then they'll like be on this corner and they'll jump out and they can immediately start the brawl, which takes away your advantage of being on defense. That because like you can stay so far away. So again, I'd actually prefer holding this corner back here. I think this corner is kind of the place to hold on King's Row. You can start here, but the second you see any of them start to push forward, I would immediately back up to the next corner, and you would probably want someone scouting. So you probably want your Sigma to play like right here, and if he scouts anyone over here, you immediately back. Or maybe a Genji up here, right? And the second you see anyone walk through that area, you'd immediately back up. But like, yeah. Just because this area exists makes this corner being held a little bit risky. But it looks like you guys want to play aggressive. The way you're kind of crouching and hiding, kind of looks like you want to play aggro. You're down your Genji though, so I don't think you're gonna do it. I think you should just retreat. I think you should run away. I don't think this is a fight you want to take right now. This is not good. You lost the corner control, even with the window. Like the window is best used for the ranged poke. So if you use the window back here and they try to push you, they literally couldn't. They literally couldn't cross you, and that would buy significantly more time than trying to take the fight right here with the window right in their face. Why do you want to play the enemy play aggro into you? Because it's a brawl composition. So if you are perfectly even, right? Both teams have the perfect amount of cooldowns, resources, shields, etc. Right? If both teams have equal amounts of cooldowns, then what's going to happen? The team who makes the initiation will always get more value. Always, always, always. Because the team that gets the initial value will throw their Risa shield first, hit the first pull, and they immediately steal tempo away because of that pull. right? So that's why you don't want to play defensively on this close corner right here, because they're going to jump around the corner. Arisa's going to hit the pole, throw the shield. You're going to be sucked up. They're going to smack the shit out of you, and you're going to have to back up. And now that distance from this corner to this corner is now pressuring you, because you don't have any corners to play on, so you have to back up all the way over here. Right, and that distance is equivalent to time. Right, that time is going to get you killed. Too much time in the line of fire. You really have to invest ultimates to sort of counterplay that engagement. But the problem is they also have ultimates. Makes it very scary. Hello, Slither. How you doing? Didn't know you left. Welcome back. Right, so that's the reason why you don't want them to engage. You don't want. It's not that you don't want to play aggro into you. If you're at a distance, you actually do want them to play aggro into you. The problem is you don't want to play. You don't want them to engage on you for free, right? And because of this area right here, you can just engage on them for free. So if you're actually in the future pair, if you want to make it, if they're holding this corner, what I really suggest you guys come through here and just jump out on top of them. Just go jump and scare the shit out of them while your Genji like climbs up here and like dumpster damage down this way, right? And then your Ashe can take an angle all the way over here, right? What a setup that would be. That would be a disgusting play. Is that a pun? I dislike it. Okay, dude. Let's get back to it. Again, your Ashe is insane and constantly trades out somehow, even at disadvantage. Look at your Ashe go, dude. She's nuts. That 180 pull. Just get back, get to your team. All right. I actually never seen Pogfish. That's something I've never heard of. I don't think you should have swapped. I think you could have made it in time and gotten Bongo, but in my opinion, I always like to play for the win once it's in overtime. Like, I don't think it's smart to like go stall picks once it's overtime. I think it's best to go for like win picks. So instead of going ball, I might have like, if I died and respawned as a tank, I would go hog and see if I can get like a hook into the well, right? Or like I would go for like a bastion pick as a DPS. You know, I would pick Ana and see if I can land a really fat nade. And with you, like in that situation, I probably would have stayed the Orisa and try to play for Bongo. So this high ground's really poopy just because, like, we're talking about corridors again. Like, what corner can you retreat to? Really none. Like, your options is like, here's a corner, and now you have nothing. So I don't like holding here. I think, like, this should be a transition spot to push people off the high ground, but then you immediately, like, go somewhere else. You probably just have to drop here. Right? To stay here, though, is probably a bad idea. You're gonna be out of resources really soon. Your 6 shield's being held up for some reason when you should drop it because your shield's up. You should move. Okay, so now you're just playing for poke, but you don't have a corner, so the poke's not worth it. You get bladed because the Genji's just in your ass the entire time. Yeah, that was a really shit first fight on your case. As a team, yes, but also as you, like, I don't know. It looks like you had no clue what you're doing, right? And as a main tank, you sort of want to be the leader of the team, so, like, that's kind of... Like, if the team makes a bad decision, it's probably your fault. Okay. Your DPS are popping off again, though. I don't think this is a fight you can win, though. Window, they lamp aggressively. I think you just have to regroup here. I think taking this fight's a mistake, right? Just play slow. Definitely leave now. Now is the time to get out. Like, not even here, like all the way over here. All the way over here. Because here you can still get pushed. Here they can't push you, because then they're doing what I call dumb bitch strat, which is walking through a choke and giving the attacking team the defender's advantage. So, like, don't even be here. Don't even be here, bro. Get that kill anyways. By the way, did you see how that Orisa died? She pushed aggressively with gold, then she died. How sad. What the hell is this? What is this? How do you lamp aggressively? You lamp aggressively by throwing lamp kind of the same way you would throw a shield. right? So the same way Orisa would throw a shield pole combo, you throw a lamp the same way, right? So think of like a Genji blading. Like if the Genji goes in and tries a 6v1, he's gonna die. So like everyone would join him. And what something that the BAP tends to do is you throw a lamp at the at the Genji. So if the Genji takes a lot of damage, he doesn't die. He can just keep swinging because they have to focus the lamp instead of the Genji. That's how you would aggressively lamp. I think in my opinion, I think both teams are kind of shit in the bed right now. You know, like this is pretty bad from both sides, low key. Like these bobs are, our bob's definitely wasted. Their bob's kind of bad. Our Sigma's out of position. We haven't regrouped. We're wasting CDs. We've been fighting on the back foot for way too long now. Sorry, I had 16 seconds. Yeah, 2 of them. There we go. I mixed my words and I couldn't math correct. What the heck was that? Oh, that was amazing. That was genuinely hilarious. Holy shit. Did he miss that flux? Did somebody miss a flux? Oh my god. This guy sucks, by the way. I don't know if he was trialing with you, but if he was, he's definitely not getting picked up. This guy is awful. That's tragic, dude. Holy shit. Slither, that was a great catch. Holy shit. Nice find, dude. That's funny as hell. And then we get to see the Ashe just like walk into a bus. Yeah. Holy shit. Pro enemy Orisa. Dude, this game is hilarious. Oh my god. I haven't laughed in the span of like 3 seconds of a game of Overwatch in that long. Gee, Jesus Christ, that was amazing. Who knew that so many things could happen in that amount of time? Yeah, you're sick inted. Unfortunate. Honestly, like sometimes you can chalk things up to like, hey, you made a mistake, or hey, you're just bad, you missed it mechanically. Like that Sig flux was just unlucky, dude. There's nothing you can do about it. Unlucky. Alright, pair. Bit of a stomp. Fuck. I'm choking on my own water. Bit of a stomp, which is unfortunate. But, hey, we got to learn a lot about this composition, how it works, and how to play Orisa into it. We also got to talk about a little bit why your Sigma sucks balls, and why your and just like a bunch of other really cool stuff, both micro and macro. So I hope that helped you out a lot.